Welcome back to the One Shot Movie Podcast. I'm your host, Vincent.
And I'm Johnny. Welcome back to the show. We have a relatively new movie that we're going to be talking about today, and I'm really excited to get going on this movie.
I am too, and this episode was supposed to come out for our 1 year anniversary, but there were complications, but we do want to say right now, thank you guys so much for all the support you have been giving the show for the past year. It's been insane.
Yeah, it has. Thank you guys so much for all the support. We look forward to doing this for a long time, so we're just really excited to get going.
And honestly, to gain 150 subscribers, more even, in just over a year after starting out from nothing.
Yeah.
From word of mouth.
Yeah, exactly. It's impressive. I'm impressed with what we've done so far.
Yeah.
And not just 150. It's all the platforms that we've been on. We've gotten some really good feedback from you guys. So keep that feedback coming, and we're excited to keep growing and keep making these reviews for everybody. So
And keep improving.
Yeah. I mean, you guys have seen us. This is our third studio that we've been in since we've begun. So it's exciting.
And the other day, John and I actually compared our first episode to the Cocaine Bear episode on look and quality. And
Totally different.
Where we've grown is insane. It's gone from this shitty webcam that I used to, I carried with me every day, and connected to this laptop to get that shot, to a 3-camera setup that we have now. And
it's awesome.
It just looks so good, and I'm blown away by what we've accomplished.
Yeah, it's something. And beyond that, we've started a club here at the school.
Yeah.
And we've done a lot of good things, so I'm excited. And this show wouldn't be possible without the Dead Podcaster Society. Check us out on Instagram
And Twitter.
We're on there as well. So our logo will be on the screen somewhere eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get started with this movie. What do we have today?
Well, before we talk about the movie, I just want to say on the show we break down movies and we rate them on 3 different scales. Well,
today's different.
Today we're going to rate them on 4 different scales.
Something new that I want to try.
And yeah, I think maybe we'll keep the 4.
I think
4
so.
scales.
Yeah.
So 4 different scales: acting, plot, rewatchability, and overall rating.
Yeah.
I know I had 5 fingers up, but my thumb was supposed to be down. Whatever. But yeah. So now we can just jump right into it.
Yeah.
Today's movie is Air. It is a drama with a runtime of 1 hour and 52 minutes.
It was released on April 5th of 2023, and this is a really interesting movie. I'm excited to talk about it. I honestly didn't think it would be a good movie before we went and saw it, but we saw it. We really loved it, and we have a lot of good things to talk about.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how to feel about it. I really wasn't.
Yeah, especially because of the director of this movie.
Yeah.
I'm not overly fond of this person.
He hasn't done many good, not good things, but like
directing wise, not so much. Obviously it's Ben Affleck. He's in this movie anyway, so we know that. He's also directed a bunch of other things, but we'll get into that eventually.
Yeah.
But back to this movie, we'll let you know about the plot. It's pretty self-explanatory. Obviously it's about Nike, it's about Jordan, but how did they come together? So what we found online, the history of the shoe salesman Sonny Vaccaro, and how he led Nike in its pursuit of the greatest athlete in the history of basketball, Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, it's quick and simple, because that's really all it is.
That's the core of this movie, and there are little side plots, but nothing like extreme, to be honest. It was really focused and narrow and decisive, and this movie was brilliant, to be honest with you. There was not much I didn't like about this movie.
Yeah, there was a lot of cinematography that just kind of worked, and then like the music was great. It fit at the time.
Yeah.
There really wasn't much to it that was, over the top, which was good. It kind of was just a simpler kind of movie, and I think it fit perfectly.
It did. This movie really blew me away with some of the cinematography and the music and a lot of the effects that it had.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be like so simple.
Neither was I, but simple works.
Yeah.
And sometimes with what they did, I want to say this was a masterpiece. This movie, it was brilliant. It really was. But what do we think of the pacing of this movie? Was it too fast, too slow, or was it just right?
That's I don't know. I mean, I think there were some parts that were slow, but other parts that were just right and just kind of like let it flow.
Yeah. Me personally, I don't have many complaints about this. The only thing I kind of wish we saw a little bit more of was like, I don't know. There's not really so much pacing. So I would say it was just right, but there were some scenes that I think I wanted to see a little bit more of.
I wanted to
So,
see more of Michael Jordan.
well,
That
yeah,
was my thing, but
yeah,
I
so did
understand
I.
why they didn't.
What I wish they kind of did was like at the end of the movie have at least like a scene showing him, not the actor who was portraying him, but like the
Right.
actual like live footage of him wearing the shoes
In like the first
in like his
game.
first game or whatever, and then
Right.
like they can add in like little things on like I don't know, maybe like it's Sonny Vaccaro at the game,
Right.
and he's on the side of the court
I wish we
or
could have
something.
saw. Well, I don't know if they even like took pictures or anything, but I would have liked to see like at the end, a picture of
All of
Michael
them,
Jordan and Sonny Vaccaro
yeah, that would have been cool.
together.
I mean, like they showed individual pictures of them all, but I don't
Right.
think they showed a picture of everybody
No,
together.
I don't think they did.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's hard to say. We did see this movie over a week ago,
Yeah.
and there was no chance for us to rewatch.
Yeah, because
Unfortunately.
it just came out in theaters. So,
Yeah.
but
But
anyway,
yeah,
moving forward, what do we have?
we have a great cast. That's what we have.
Yeah.
First up is Matt Damon as Sonny Vaccaro. He is known for Good Will Hunting, The Martian, the Bourne franchise, and the Oceans franchise. Fucking phenomenal movies.
All slam
All
dunks. They were
seriously.
all super super good. No
You said
complaints.
slam
With any-
dunks because
Yeah,
Michael Jordan.
you like that?
Yeah.
No complaints about Matt Damon in this film. His character was brilliant.
His character was great. I think he played the character perfectly.
No complaints at all with him. He was just really really fantastic. God, I'm saying so many times, but just no complaints about him. He was brilliant in this movie, and I saw Good Will Hunting a few weeks ago for the first time, and that movie. I don't want to say he plays a similar kind of character. I love Good Will Hunting.
Okay, I was about
No,
to say.
no
I was
complaints
like,
about that either. It
I
was
was giving you the side. I was like, where are you going with this?
no, that movie was brilliant, and
Yeah.
maybe that needs to be a review in itself because that movie was just
Him and Robin Williams.
oh my
man.
god, it was so
Oh,
good. But anyway, Matt Damon in this movie, I really loved what he did, and no complaints with him. No recast needed or anything. He was the star of this movie.
Yeah, he really was. And he did his job perfectly with this movie. I really
100%.
think he did.
Yeah.
Who do we got up next?
Up next, we have Ben Affleck as Phil Knight, aka the CEO of Nike, and he is known for guess what? Good Will Hunting, Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice, Justice League, Argo, and then the upcoming Flash movie, reprising his role as the Batman.
He's like uncredited in it though. It's like
He's
it's
not
weird.
credited in the Flash.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
he
don't
only
know.
has like I don't know a minute or two of screen time,
Maybe.
and then they just needed to show it in the trailer because no one wants to see Ezra Miller in this movie because he's a terrible person.
Yeah.
What did I say that?
Oh my god,
Ezra Miller's
it's like we've talked about it so many times
Yeah.
before. He's a shit person.
I can't believe that they're not removing him
From the movie?
from the movie.
Yeah, I know.
I get it. That's
But
going
we
to
have
cost
the
them so much money.
I almost just said something from like the first Iron Man.
What?
We have the technology.
Oh. Yeah.
Tony Stark built this in a cave with a box of scraps.
What do we think of Ben Affleck in this movie?
Um,
I wasn't like in love with his performance, but I didn't hate it. He was good. Like I don't have I don't have complaints, but I also don't feel like he was like outstanding by any means.
no. I feel like they probably could have found somebody better, but I understand he directed, so
Yeah,
he put
exactly.
himself, I'm not saying Ben Affleck's bad in this role, but
Mm-hmm.
like I feel like maybe they could have found somebody a little bit better.
Yeah, I agree.
The chemistry was there though between him
Yes.
and Sonny.
Well, that's just because they've done so many projects together in the
Right.
past, so I think it comes naturally.
And I also think that's why he put himself in that role, probably
Yeah.
to give that chemistry, because it would be a better performance.
100%. Although he was like okay or good in this movie, Ben Affleck, he was more of a supporting cast member, so he didn't
Yeah.
need to be outstanding. He didn't need to take away from the main cast, which I would consider Matt Damon and Jason Bateman. I feel like those are the two core guys, and then Ben Affleck, Chris Tucker, they're kind of like sub or like supporting characters in a way. I
Yeah.
feel like they just weren't as.
I thought Chris Tucker was going to be in the movie for longer.
So did I, to be honest. But he had a short role. But
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of Chris Tucker, if you want to just
I
mention
might
his
as well.
first.
Chris Tucker as Howard White. He is known for Rush Hour 1, 2, and 3. Jackie Brown, Friday, and Money Talks. So I've watched Rush Hour 1, 2, and 3, and Money Talks. I haven't seen Friday or Jackie Brown.
I actually have never seen.
If you say Rush Hour, I will kick you
I
out of the
haven't.
studio.
No, I have not.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I know you're like getting a hard on from.
Bro,
from
they're
the movie,
fucking
but
hilarious.
I had never seen them.
They're
know.
so funny.
I want it. It's not like I don't want to see them. I have a list of 30 movies that I need to see, if not more. I just don't have time. So
Makes
you're
me
lucky.
angry.
You're lucky.
It makes me so mad, though. Sometimes when like these are classics.
I know. I just saw Good Will Hunting 2 weeks ago. I'm in the process of watching Pulp Fiction for the last 2 weeks, and I haven't finished it yet. I mean, there's stuff I got to get done here, bro. I don't know what you expect.
I expect
all the time in the
expect
world.
more out of you.
This is ridiculous. You're lucky you got me to go see Air.
Yeah, I had to schedule it like a week in advance.
Exactly. I had to check with my secretary to make sure I had enough time to go watch this movie.
Yeah, you wish you had a fucking secretary.
That would be something, wouldn't it?
I wish we had money for the show.
Yeah, that's also true.
Guys, please send us money.
Up next, we have Jason Bateman, and he plays Rob Strasser. I guess that's how you say it, right?
I think so.
And he's known for Hancock, Horrible Bosses 1
He's
and 2.
known for what?
Identity Theft, and the hit TV show Arrested Development, and we forgot to mention Ozark.
Oh yeah,
which is a really
role in
popular show
Ozark,
right now.
Yeah. See, the thing is, I'm not a huge fan of Jason Bateman. I'm gonna be completely honest.
I wasn't for the longest time, but not that I dislike him in a way, or love him. He's just like, I see him in a project, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't like bother me in any way, like it does if I see Jennifer Coolidge in anything. I won't touch anything with her in it.
Yeah, no.
She's been playing the same character in everything since 1980.
Yeah.
So there's no point in watching her in anything.
She kind of ruined The Watcher, honestly.
It was so annoying. I can't.
Yeah,
I can't
she was
stop.
annoying.
Yeah.
But Identity Theft was funny as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Hancock was funny as hell. But I don't know, something about Jason Bateman that just kind of like
Irks you?
not irks me, but like kind of turns me off to his movies sometimes. It's like weird. I don't know what it is, but like I don't know. I really like something that just doesn't
do it for you.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's weird. Who do we have up next? Just because we have a big cast, so I want to just keep us
We
moving
have
through here.
Chris
Messina?
Messina? Yeah. Chris Messina as David Falk, known for Argo, Away We Go, Devil, and Ruby Sparks.
You kind of notice that there's a lot of people who are in similar projects.
Yeah, you can see a lot of similarities.
Just keep an eye out for that continuing.
Yeah.
So
Up next?
up next we have Matthew Maher as Peter Moore, and he's known for Gone Baby Gone, Captain Marvel, It's Kind of a Funny Story, and Dogma. I don't know. Never heard of that project, to be honest.
It's kind of like Ligma.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of weird.
I was trying to, when you said it, I was trying to come up with something, but like couldn't think of anything.
Kind of strange, to be honest with you, but interesting project. I don't know. David Falk is kind of.
No.
Oh,
Peter
sorry,
Moore.
Peter Moore.
I think he did a really good job.
Yeah,
I think he did great as Peter Moore.
Peter Moore. Which one was he?
He's the creator of the shoe. He actually built the shoe.
Oh,
like he
yes,
made the shoe.
Yes, you're right. I loved his performance.
Yeah, he was great.
He was very unique.
Right?
His character was so fun,
Were you
and
riding a skateboard out in the parking lot? Yes, I was.
midlife crisis. He was just a really fun character, and I kind of wish we got more of him. To be honest with
Yeah.
you, even though it wasn't really necessary in any way, I
Like
kind of just wish we had that.
he was introduced like early on,
And we didn't see him
and
for
then
a
we
long
and then we
time.
didn't see him for almost
Yeah,
the entire movie.
I know, but I was kind of okay with that, to be honest.
Yeah, because I think
Even though I did want to see more of him, it was necessary to put him away for a while for the story.
yeah,
So,
it just kind of worked.
Exactly. Yeah.
Up next, we have Viola Davis as Deloris Jordan. She is known for Fences, The Woman King, Suicide Squad, and The Help. I've already said this once. I'll say it again. Not a fan of Viola Davis. Really not.
I don't dislike her, but I don't love her. She was really good in Suicide Squad and The Help.
She was okay in Suicide Squad.
Yeah, she was okay in that. But in The Help, I really liked her performance. I haven't seen her in The Woman King or Fences. I've never actually heard of Fences, to be honest with you.
I heard The Woman King. What the fuck?
But I enjoyed her performance here, even though you said that you didn't really like her. I feel like she did a good job. It was a little distracting at first for me because I'm like, oh, I know her from X and Y.
Yeah.
And then I settled in and I'm like, oh, she actually did like a really good job in this film. So I wasn't bothered by her being in it, to be honest.
So this role wasn't terrible for her. I thought she did okay. You know, I wasn't extremely mad, but like, I don't know. There's just something about her that just I don't like seeing on the screen, and I don't know what it is. It's kind of like it's a little bit of that like Jason Bateman. It's not like
You're not
nothing
sure what
against him.
Yeah.
I think for Jason Bateman, it might be his voice.
His voice can be kind of irritating, to be honest. Like in Arrested Development, I couldn't watch it. I couldn't finish the show because it kind of got like annoying.
Right.
But I don't know if it was necessarily him or the show itself, but
That's
either
the
way.
thing. Like I don't know. But I don't know. Something about Viola Davis just kind of ticks me off.
That's fair. I mean, everybody has that person. Like mine's Jennifer Coolidge.
Yeah.
I can't stand seeing her in anything just because
Wow.
of that.
That was more Owen Wilson.
That really annoying voice. I don't know. But anyway, let's keep it moving here. Last person. We have Julius Tenen as James Jordan, and he's known for Dazed and Confused. The Woman King, again, in the same movie as Viola Davis. Small Soldiers and Faster. I'm going to be honest, I liked his performance in this movie. It was minimal. He had a minimal role.
It was great.
And he was good.
He just
I
like
really
sat
liked
back
it.
and smiled the whole time. It was great.
Yeah, like I said, not a big role, but what he had and what he did was really impressive, and I liked it. It was very simple, but there are ways to fuck up simple things, so
That's very true.
I liked it.
Now we're going to move on to the director and their experience. As we said earlier, the director is Ben Affleck. He also directed Live by Night, Argo, The Town, and Gone Baby Gone. And if you guys can't tell, you know,
Put two
you
and
can
two
see
together.
where he got most of his actors from.
Yeah. It makes sense, but at the same time, a lot of these people are very experienced, so it's not like you're getting no names off the street like Jordan Peele does. Jordan Peele just likes to find random, I don't want to say random people, but unknown or people who aren't stars and make them into somebody who becomes a star, I want to say. And where Ben Affleck, I think he needs those superstars to make his movies a little bit better because, to be honest, I've never heard of any of these projects that he's done except for this one. And
I've heard of Argo before, but I've never like watched it or
no, I've never heard of any of
been
them.
interested or seen any movie clips or anything.
But to be honest with you, I feel like I wouldn't have seen a Ben Affleck movie. And the only reason I did was because it was a Nike movie or a
Thing
Michael
is, I didn't
Jordan
even
movie.
know it was directed by Ben Affleck.
I didn't
until
either for a while.
I looked it up. Like
Yeah.
after we watched it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I knew it going in, but I don't know. I just feel like I wouldn't see another Ben Affleck movie just because normally, I don't know. I'm just not a huge fan of him in general.
Makes sense.
But but I feel like he did a good job in his directing role.
He hired a great DP, I have to say.
Did he?
I'm just the way.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying in general, like the way that this person.
Yeah, the way that this was shot was really, really cool.
It was insane.
It was really nice.
Speaking of that, it's time for some cinematography.
Let's jump right in. What do you got?
So I love the opening transition. The opening scene where it's, all the 80s stuff. It shows you what year it is.
Yeah.
And, it's going from sports to like news to, to everything that happened in the 80s.
It was super unique and it fit the time super, super well.
Yeah.
I
And
liked
like
it a lot.
you see those a lot with a voiceover.
Mm-hmm.
I it didn't have a voiceover, did it?
I don't think so, but then again, like we said, we haven't seen it in over a week.
Yeah.
So just lots happened in the last week, so
Yeah.
it's hard to recall that exactly. But I feel like I can't remember if
I
there
don't
was.
think it did.
I think
And
they were
like
just playing clips.
right. And majority of the time when you see something like that, it has a voiceover. And I'm actually happy that it didn't, because I feel like it would have taken away from some of the the quality of
Yeah.
what was going on. And then also the gambling scene, like in the beginning with
It was
Matt
cool.
Damon. You get the dice, you see the dice, and it was
I know we do this every episode, but it brings me back to, I believe, Iron Man. I think when he's in the casino
where
and
he's
he rolls the dice.
yeah, where he's supposed to accept the award, and then
Yeah, then he's
Terrence
there.
Howard comes in and like smacks the dice out of his hand.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of that. But I mean, I guess that's kind of repetitive for
Right.
these kind of casino scenes, to be honest.
But this seemed different. It seemed like it was more like the camera was like right there, and the dice stopped like right before the camera.
That's
Other than like a pointing down
Mm-hmm.
shot,
Yeah. For me, I feel like not my favorite scene. My favorite shot from this entire film, ironically, it was the bathroom scene.
That was really
in the
good.
beginning when I think it's Matt Damon's in the bathroom.
Jason Bateman and Matt Damon.
Which
yeah.
one was actually like shitting?
Bateman.
Okay, so Jason Bateman is in the bathroom pooping, and they get a shot from underneath the stall facing outward, like towards the sinks, and it was so unique. I've never like seen anything like it, to be honest.
Well, yeah,
But-
because most people don't get recorded while they're taking a shit.
Well, yeah, but even like in any kind of movie, I don't think I've seen a shot like that in a bathroom where it's underneath the stall at like a 90-degree angle to the left, and you're kind of just facing the sinks, and it looks cool. You could see like the bottom of his pants and like his belt and everything like that, and his legs and his underwear or whatever, and it was really unique. And I don't know, it was something that like I took notice to, and it was just awesome. And in that same scene, I also noticed that Matt Damon didn't wash his hands with soap after he peed.
Yeah.
So he just ran his hands under the water.
John noticed a lot of things like that.
Yeah, it was weird. I don't know why I noticed that specifically, but I wanted to make sure I wrote it down right away. So yeah.
Weird facts with John.
Yeah, I have a couple other things here. I don't know if this one is so much cinematography, but it was a well constructed scene, so I guess we can put it in that. But it was the original 7-Eleven scene, not the second one at the end, the one in the beginning,
Right.
where it's Matt Damon going in, he's grabbing whatever he's grabbing, and he goes up and he has this like natural, like really nice conversation with the guy who's working there, asking him about one of the guys in the draft. I don't remember exactly who it was.
Right.
And then they talked about Jordan, I believe, and they said that, oh yeah, Jordan's going to be a superstar. And then that's where I feel like it really clicked for him to be like Matt Damon, where he's like, oh, I need this guy.
Right.
And it was just really nice. And the whole scene was shot nice. It was kind of basic shots, but it worked well. It was smooth. But the thing that really caught me and got my attention was just the natural, like, really good conversation between
Yeah, it was just
Matt Damon.
it was just a natural conversation between him and the cash register.
Yeah.
Or the cashier.
Yeah, but
Not
I don't know.
cash register.
It worked really well, and I don't know. I liked it. So
It was really good. I'm more of a fan of the single shots that they had in these movies. Like they had a few of them. They had a single shot with Matt Damon and Chris Tucker, like when they were walking through the office, and it was they flow so good. I can't get enough of them. They flow just perfectly, and I love it because it's like it's not taking you away from the conversation. Like they're having the conversation and you're moving with them.
Yeah.
Instead of like, oh, I'm talking to you, and then it cuts to something else, and then it cuts to this, and then it cuts to that. Like it flows, and I love it.
That's a good point.
And then there was another single shot, like right after the bathroom scene, like they come out, and it's another one of them walking through the office with Jason Bateman, and Matt Damon. They just look so good. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah. For me, there was one I just thought of now. I I can't remember exactly like the timing of it all, but I think they did it a few times throughout the entire movie. We know that Matt Damon's like office, or I think it was the tape room,
Yeah.
and Jason Bateman's were back to back, so you could see through like the windows at each other's like
Hmm.
office or whatever the heck it was. But there was one scene where it was like raining outside, and they did this shot of like Matt Damon sitting in his chair looking at Jason Bateman through his window in his chair, like on the phone. And I don't know, it was really cool because it was raining outside. It looked really gloomy.
I think it was at the end,
It might have
close
been.
to it,
It might have been.
when right after Matt Damon gets off the phone
Yeah.
and he thinks Michael's not going to sign with them,
Yeah.
because I think what happens is he looks and he's like, oh my god,
Mm-hmm.
what did I do for all the like to all these people?
Yeah.
You know, like we're going to be out of a job because of what I did, and I think that's why they did that the way they did.
Yeah. No, that's true. But they had the similar shot a few times throughout the movie. I
Yeah.
guess they wanted to establish that they're like not like next door neighbors kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it was pretty cool. I don't really have much else in terms of cinematography because I was kind of focused on the story itself because the story itself was brilliant.
Yeah.
It was simple, but it worked really well. And I'm thinking to myself now, there actually was a side plot to this film. It was, I don't know if it's kind of like subtle, but it was Sonny preventing everyone from losing their jobs and the division from being shut down because they
Yeah.
mentioned the basketball division threatened to be shut down a few times. And I feel like that was a thing that he was focused on as well. He didn't want everyone else to lose their job.
Yeah.
And they mentioned, Jason Bateman mentioned it. He's like, I have a family,
Hmm.
I need this job kind of thing.
Right.
So, like, I don't know. But just remember that now. I feel like that was a subtle side plot.
Yeah, I thought that was good. I have a few more things for cinematography. Um, the scene with Marlon Wayans, it uses rack focus, and it like they utilize like so much good cinematography here.
Hmm.
Like I don't know who Ben Affleck had, but
I don't know.
it was great.
It was cool.
They did an amazing job.
Yeah.
And it just made it look like a lot better because it's like, oh, who's the character that's playing, the guy that Sonny's meeting?
Yeah.
They rack focus. It's Marlon Wayans.
Although there was another scene that they used rack focus for Matt Damon and Jason Bateman,
Did they?
and it didn't really look that great, to be honest. There was one that I noticed. It was like they were going from forefront to background like a few times,
Okay.
and it kind of just looked a
It's
little
like
sloppy.
if that's the case, just
Just
do
cut.
like cut. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really enjoy it that much. But everything else it looked
I
it looked
think they
pretty
did
good though.
this one
Yeah, no,
very well.
this one was good.
And then there's the transition after the meeting with Michael. You know, you see, you see, all the things he's gonna accomplish. While Sonny's giving him that speech, and I thought that
So
it was
nice.
really good.
It was really really awesome.
And then there's the one where after Sonny thinks Michael isn't gonna sign with them, he walks out of the tape room
Mm-hmm.
and just goes quiet. People are still talking, but all Sonny hears is just
Silence.
quiet and silence.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole office goes silent, and it's just a beautiful scene because he thinks he screwed up.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. Moving forward, unless you have anything else, we could talk about the music real quick, briefly. It was awesome. It fit the '80s so well,
Yeah,
and
perfect.
it all just made it feel like a real '80s movie. I know we're not from the '80s. Clearly, we're born in the 2000s.
We're not?
But I feel like this movie and music matched super super well, and it just gave off this whole '80s vibe. And without the music, it wouldn't have felt the same. It would have felt like a piece that was made in this day and age.
Yeah.
Despite the lack of technology or whatever, but the music just really changed the vibe of the movie.
Yeah, I think they did a really good job with all this, especially with the Easter eggs.
Mhm.
There were three that I really wanted to talk about. Nothing crazy. I mean, it's kind of just like common for them
Yeah.
to be in the '80s. But first one was the TV dinner that Sonny Vaccaro had.
Yep.
Second one was the VHS tape. You know, I mean, I had the VHS. I don't know if you.
We did too.
You had it for like a year, and then everything was on DVD from now on.
Yeah, when I was younger, we had like VHSs of like all the
The
little
Disney
kids
movies?
movies. Like we had, I don't know, we had a VHS of what was that? Land Before Time. It was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we had that, and like a bunch of other movies that came out around that time. Just a lot of we had a lot of VHSs from that time period.
I remember
so.
I had the Shrek VHS tape.
Yeah.
I loved it. And then I think I destroyed it on accident because I
Yeah.
didn't know how VHS tapes worked.
Oh God.
Yeah.
But you had one other Easter egg here. What
Yeah,
was that?
there was an Atari arcade game, like the full arcade.
Yeah, pretty cool.
And it was cool. I wonder what game it was
Yeah.
because it just said Atari on it, and I was like,
Yeah, that was pretty interesting. But moving forward into a not new segment, our next segment, movie ratings on websites. This one was pretty interesting, to be honest, because I felt like this was a really, really solid movie, but critics thought otherwise. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 92%. IMDb gave it a 7.8 out of 10. And then wrapping it up, Metacritic gave it a 75%. But that's kind of expected from them.
That's pretty average.
Lower.
That's good.
Yeah, it's good, but I felt like this movie was more in the 8 to 8.5 range, to be honest. I don't know. I feel like 92 is a little too high, but 75 is a little too low.
That's fair. I think it was a good movie.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna jump into the opening weekend and overall earnings. But first we're gonna talk about its budget. The budget was from $70 to $90 million, not an exact budget, but that was the range of it. An opening weekend.
Oh, sorry. Opening weekend. Jesus. Opening weekend, it made 14 million, almost like $14.5 million. So it was pretty good.
Yeah, that's nuts. And then overall, it gained almost $34 million.
Pretty good.
So,
yeah.
But that was also, a few weeks. That was last week. It could have changed by now. It could have gone up, which, it's still in theaters. It's still being shown. So it could very well be, up to, $50 million now.
Right now, yeah, it's up to 54.1 million.
Exactly.
So, that's pretty good.
And that's in a week.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine, another 2 weeks.
Yeah, they'll make their budget by far. So I want to take a break to talk about the merch for a minute. We have the same stuff that we've had on the store for a little while, but we're, I don't know.
We need you to buy it.
That's
what John's trying to say.
We have some new ideas that we want to possibly put into.
Oh yeah.
Into the store. So if you guys want anything new, let us know. We have some new ideas. It's including our newest little graphic that we have on everything. It's actually going to be.
Where is it going to be?
It's going to be right by you.
It's going to be right here.
Yeah, all right. Something like that. So if we pull up either of our full screens, it's going to be right here or on your left.
On your left.
On your left. Marvel. Anyway, go check out the merch. OneShotMoviePodcast.com and use code AIR for
15% off.
15% off your order. So check it out, OneShotMoviePodcast.com. T-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, mugs,
phone cases, desk mats. Maybe, I don't know if I put them live, but they look really good. We have one ourselves.
Yeah.
They look great.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Anything I'm missing? Oh, pint glasses. I gotta stop doing that. Pint glasses and stickers, actually.
Yeah, stickers. Speaking of stickers, we have some new stickers, which aren't in the shop or anything. But
those are limited edition stickers.
These are limited edition ones, so if you want one, let me know.
We'll put them up.
We can possibly put them up for you. So, yeah, let's keep it moving. Again, OneShotMoviePodcast.com for your orders. Let's jump into some of our favorites.
Yeah. Go first. Go ahead.
For me, my favorite scene by far, I think the best scene in this entire movie, and I don't think it's even close, is the shoe unveiling scene with Sonny's whole speech. It was so emotional, and they show this really cheesy one clip of Michael Jordan in college making this one layup, and it was just repeating, and Sonny goes to turn it off, and
also the music was just not it.
Yeah, no, not at all. So the whole room just kind of just freaks out that Sonny's changing the plan that they had. And I feel like it was really tense. And then Sonny is I'm gonna be honest with you, you are gonna be one of the best athletes in sports history, whatever he says exactly.
Yeah.
But he goes in this whole monologue, and it's so emotional and raw, and it was beautiful. I just really, really loved it. And then he ends up saying this one line, That is my favorite quote. Actually, I hope it's him. Actually, I don't know. But my favorite quote from this movie is, which is really good.
Motherfucker, that's my quote.
Yours is, oh, shit.
You asshole.
I read the wrong thing here. Anyway,
Took away from mine.
I'll cut that out and we'll go back. So sorry, my favorite scene goes in with my favorite quote. I did, so I just cut it and I accidentally said his quote. Sorry. So my favorite quote goes with the same scene, and it's from Sonny. He says, "A shoe is just a shoe until someone steps into it," and it's during that whole monologue, and it was really really cool. So I love it.
And then Viola Davis actually repeats it and goes,
Yeah.
"A shoe is just a shoe until my son steps into it."
And that was during the negotiations
Yeah.
when she wanted the portion of the sales.
the royalties,
Yeah,
practically.
exactly. It was
Not
really-
royal. I mean, I guess
Yeah,
whatever.
some of the earnings or revenue from it.
Commission.
But it was cool. It was
Yeah.
it was nice that they tied it around. Who knows if they actually said something like that
Right.
during this time? But if they did,
Guess we'll never know.
we'll never know.
My favorite scene is the whole scene between Falk and Sonny. Is so funny. Where he's like, "You visit them at the house." He is livid.
Dude is ripping him apart.
And
Sonny doesn't even
and then
care.
he just goes, "I will eat your balls. I will." It was just so funny and so out of pocket. It was hilarious.
It was so unexpected too. I didn't even like imagine something like that happening in this movie. You know what I mean?
not at all.
Like I'm thinking, oh, it's gonna be a Nike movie about MJ and the shoes.
Well, I didn't even think this movie was going to be rated R.
I had no idea. I had a note on that, but I'll wait till you're done. So I'll let you finish this first.
And then my favorite quote is, "He doesn't wear the shoe. He is the shoe," which makes sense.
Yeah,
Air Jordan.
exactly.
He is the shoe.
But if you don't have anything else to add,
Yeah, no, I'm done.
okay. I wanted to mention the R rating that this movie has because actually
Yeah, we didn't.
we
put it-
forgot to put that
yeah.
in.
I realized that too down the line.
Yeah, but I had it written down in my notes here while I was watching the movie, and I feel like this movie didn't need the R rating, but it didn't hurt the movie from having the R rating. So
Yeah,
like
100%.
there was a lot of cursing and F bombs and whatever, more than I expected, to be honest, once I heard it was rated R. But
Yeah.
it wasn't a bad thing. It didn't hurt the movie. It made it funnier because they had he's gonna eat your balls or whatever,
Yeah.
and it was very comedic, and I really enjoyed it, to be honest. So it didn't hurt the movie at all.
Yeah, I thought it was good, and I totally agree with that. It didn't hurt it, but also it could have done it without it. 100%.
It still would have been a really good movie. So
Yeah.
I have no issues. They could have worked around it. It's not bad.
Yeah. So now it's time where we wrap it up and give you our final rating.
Our final 4 ratings now. So
This is going to be a bit of a shorter episode.
yeah, no, just happened to be that way. Okay, so we rate these movies on 3 different scales normally, but we're adding the 4th for this episode and hopefully going forward. So we have acting, plot, overall, and then we're adding like rewatchability. Can you watch this movie multiple times throughout time and not really get bored of it?
Yeah.
So I guess we're gonna end up. I'll compare this to Marvel and how I feel like a lot of them you can rewatch multiple times a year, or like every few years or whatever. But I feel like this movie has it, and I guess I'll go with that one first. Honestly, I think this movie has rewatchability out of 10, out of 9. I feel like it's really good. The story's really creative, and the whole arc of just Sonny being able to do what he does after no one believing in him. It's a good watch. It's emotional, it's raw, and it's really great. So rewatchability is a 9. Acting is an 8. The story is good, but it's kind of simple. So I'm gonna give that an 8. And then overall, it's kind of high, but I did enjoy it. So I'm gonna give it a 9.
Did you plot? Did you plot it?
I think I said plot. Plot was an 8.
All right.
Because plot was kind of basic, but it was good at the same time.
So if we're starting with that rewatchability for me, I'm gonna give it an 8. I'm comparing it to Marvel, but also to a few other movies that I can just kind of go in and rewatch at any moment, like The Dirt.
Rush Hour.
No, yes, no, yes and no. The Dirt, movie called Boss Level, movie I just watched the other day, Radio. I could watch that movie over and over again. It's so heartwarming, and I even text John. I said, "There's one scene in this that just makes me bawl." Like I was a fucking sobbing little bitch when I watch that scene. It's just like
What else was
it
there?
just hits hard. No, dude, when you watch it, I'm telling you, you will be in tears.
We'll see. If I get to watch it this year,
Yeah.
with my list of movies I have to see.
Same with like I'm just comparing it to like other movies that I can rewatch
A lot.
other than Marvel. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with an 8. Acting, I'm gonna give it an 8 as well. Ben Affleck. I think he could have
He was
found somebody
serviceable.
better,
He
but
was serviceable.
yeah, he did his job.
Yeah.
Plot, 8, and then overall an 8. I'm just going straight 8s.
Yeah. That's interesting. Like we said, this is a good movie, but it's not like excellent.
Yeah.
It's not like one for the history books. It was just a really well-made movie, and I don't have many complaints about it at all, to be honest with you. So
Yeah, I thought it was very good. I thought it was a great movie,
yeah.
and I'm kind of glad we went and saw it when we did.
Yeah, this is definitely one I'd recommend seeing in theaters rather than at home, just because like the whole experience is really good. To be honest, I haven't seen a movie in theaters for a while that I really enjoyed. But yeah, that really wraps it up for this episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching.
Make sure you follow us on our socials. Instagram is One Shot Movie Podcast Official. TikTok is One Shot Movie Podcast. Facebook page is One Shot Movie Podcast. Twitter is One Shot Movie Pod. If you like what we do and you want to support us, please become a patron. The link is in our Instagram bio in our link tree.
Yep.
Or you can even just, donate on Anchor or what is it? Podcast by Spotify? I think I just had a stroke. Sorry.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, you can do that as well. But, we got to keep the show going. We had an amazing first year.
Yeah.
I want to have amazing more years. So please help us keep the show going. And
That's really
that's pretty much it.
Yeah, don't forget to check out the shop, oneshotmoviepodcast.com, for some possibly new merch in the future. We'll let you guys know, obviously, on the Instagram.
If they want it.
If you want it, let us know. If you guys have any suggestions for any other movies or scenes to break down, let us know as well. And
Message us on Instagram or tweet us or, I don't know, send a pigeon.
who knows? That's it. But
One Shot Podcast.
that's a wrap.
By Vincent and Jonny.
This show contains movie spoilers, R-rated content, and Hollywood's hottest takes on movies old and new.
Listen at your own risk.